Hi, Vanessa.
Hi.
I'm getting myself in here a little earlier because there's some functions that I'm wanting to make sure are turned on. Oh, there's Stephanie.
Hello.
Hello. I was just checking out the functions that you just sent me, Stephanie, about the uh, transcribe or live
Okay.
captions, but it looks like they're on. Oh,
So I
wait, no,
know
yeah. Turn
I
on
see
live
that there is
captions.
a recording and transcription notification. So I think they're both on.
Okay, and then down below, I see turn on live captions. So I'm going to click on that right now and see what happens. Oh, there we go. Okay. I'm going to grab my water. I'll be right back. I didn't have a chance to eat lunch at lunchtime, so I grabbed some corn chips a little while ago, and one of my crowns broke off.
Well, my mom has had that happen a few times.
Yeah, this is the second time it's happened with corn chips for me, and they aren't like corn nuts, they aren't hard. They're just
Right.
regular tortilla chips,
Oh my goodness. Who do you go through? Who's your dentist?
Well, I already called them and they can get me in tomorrow afternoon. So, yeah, so it's going to be a busy day tomorrow.
Sorry.
Fortunately, it doesn't hurt, or at least, I mean, I've stopped eating, of course, and it doesn't seem to be temperature sensitive, but I'm going to have to be careful when I brush later.
Yeah. Stuff pulled up. Is there, do we know what you want me to be sharing first?
I'm sorry, could you say that again, Stephanie?
Yeah, so I have everything pulled up. I just wanted to know what I should have when I screen share, what I should have set up first.
Okay. I think we'll pull the agenda up first.
Okay.
Yeah. And then you can kind of see when you look at the agenda when the next, I've got it in my notes here to cue
I know,
you
I
to
totally
bring up.
forgot you sent that, so I'm pulling it up now.
Yeah, no worries, no worries. I've got it in my notes to cue you when we want to bring up the next thing.
Okay.
Veronica.
Oh, hello. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. Do you have much smoke in your area from that fire?
We did yesterday. It was really, really hazy up here. And it started out a little clear this morning, but as the day has gone on, I can see it's hazy out there. But I don't really smell smoke. I actually hung some clothes out on the line earlier today, so it doesn't smell smoky, but we'll see. I know that things are supposed to change. There's actually a fire just up here in Clark County. I saw notices about it, but there just isn't any wind right now, so the air is really stagnant.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw that new one in Clark County, and I know quite a few people over there. So
Yeah, it's Larch Mountain, which is way east.
okay.
Yeah. don't know what kind of smoke we had up here yesterday, but my husband and I went on a bike ride and you couldn't even see really. I mean, you could see close in, but as we were looking south into Portland and west to the West Hills, it was all shrouded in haze.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, in Portland yesterday, it was pretty bad. Like even going for a walk, I was like, oh, should I be wearing a mask? Just like, the unhealthy air quality.
Mm-hmm.
It's better today, but we'll see.
Yeah, I didn't smell smoke when we were riding our bike yesterday, and it didn't, I mean, I couldn't feel it in my lungs or smell it or anything. I could just kind of see it out there on the horizon.
These poor fires. I hope I don't know, get some rain or something and get it all done.
I tell you, I'm going to look at the forecast here, and there is no rain in the forecast through next Wednesday, at least according to, the phone.
That's crazy. I wonder, like, I can't remember last year if we went through all of October with no rain, or I don't think it was this warm last year.
It wasn't, no. I don't think I was hanging clothes out on the line in October.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know why we've got folks waiting in the lobby. I don't have it set to where folks need to ask for permission.
I clicked admit.
Oh, okay, there she's in. Good. Hi, Christy.
Hi, Teresa. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm good.
Oh, so people waiting in the lobby, it's coming up on my screen over in the, it's not coming up in the front to let them in. Are you seeing them, Stephanie, to let them
Yeah,
in?
I'm the one that's admitting them.
Oh, okay, good. I'm going to have to now re-look at these invites because I don't remember setting it for people to have to ask permission. They should just be able to kind of join.
Yeah, I'm looking and seeing if I can find the setting right now to remove that they have to be admitted.
Okay. It's so funny how Teams, sometimes that's an issue and other times it isn't. And I don't understand how it figures that out. Looks like there's still one other person waiting in the lobby. Well, my clock says 3:01, so I think we'll get started. Hello, everyone. I'm glad you're here. This is the first OEBB Wellness Champion Network meeting of the 22-23 school year, and we're glad you're here. We're going to get started with an icebreaker, which is kind of a funny thing to do in a remote meeting. It's real different from when we used to be able to meet in person. But I have put something in the chat, and I'm going to send it right now. So the icebreaker is, what are you looking forward to this school year? And if you aren't familiar with Teams, up at the top of your screen, you should see people, chat, reactions, rooms, camera, mic. And if you pull that, press that chat button, you should see a box pull up, and then you can just put your answer in there for what you're looking forward to this school year. And I'll read them out loud as folks enter them. Veronica's looking forward to attending in-person events. Yes, a consistent schedule. Thank you, Juliet. Having all the kids back in class. Thank you, Betsy. I'm going to put cooler weather in here, even though we don't seem to be having any of that lately. Anything else folks are looking forward to this school year? Marcel is looking forward to creating a wellness program. Well, you're in the right place, Marcel. Connecting with more entities and providing support related to wellness services. Christy from Moda Health, that's what she's looking forward to. So those of you who are in this meeting and aren't on Christy's mailing list, she's going to want to hear from you because she wants to reach out to you, see how she can help. And Tanya's looking forward to working with the champions to help promote the Employee Assistance Program and connect you all to the resources you need. Amy's looking forward to in-person meetings and making new friends. Oh, I love that. Okay. Well, if you think of anything else you're looking forward to, put it there in the chat so folks can see it. But I'm going to move on to the next thing on the agenda. Stephanie Dodson, who is PEB's Administrative Assistant Extraordinaire, is with us today. And she's been helping me and will continue to help me with these meetings. But what she's going to do right now is to walk us through some of the functions on the Teams platform. Some of you are familiar with it and some of you aren't, so we want to make sure you all get a little bit of an overview. So Stephanie, do you want to take it over? I'll mute myself and you can walk folks through the different functions.
So when you joined, you may have seen at the top that it did say the meeting was in recording and that there's also a transcribe function. You shouldn't have had to click accept or anything. It just is a little notification and then you can exit out of it. Once the meeting is over and the recording is available, you will be able to see that in this meeting's chat. As Teresa already showed, there is the chat option up at the very top. You can also choose to hide the chat or reopen it. You can view participants if you click people. And then under the reactions tab, there is an option to have a hand raise if you have a question or concern or anything like that. And then there is also options to react to other people's chats.
I'm there twice.
We've got an echo. Okay, see, that's better. I went in and muted everybody. But I believe that is all the functions that you guys would need to be familiar with. We did turn on the transcribe option, so hopefully you guys are able to see the text version of this. And if there is, for any reason, something that you're not able to find, or again, have a question and you're not seeing the option to put it in the chat, you can unmute your mic and just say, excuse me.
Thank you, Stephanie. For those of you who are on the computer and not calling in, you would have seen some applause in front of my face, and that was me using one of the reactions there, just to show you what that looked like. Okay, so the next thing we want to do on the agenda is to pull up the list of topics that we have scheduled so far for these monthly meetings. This is a work in progress, so we're still adding to it, but we at least wanted to give you a heads up for what you can look forward to at each of these meetings. So I'm going to turn it over to Christy, and Stephanie has brought that slide up. So Christy.
Yeah, good afternoon, everyone. I'm just going to briefly run through the meeting dates and the key topics. So today, obviously October 10th, and we're going to spend a little bit of time just learning about what the Wellness Champion Network is, and also hear from Uprise Health EAP. On November 14th, we'll discuss what being a champion is, Omada Health, which is a diabetes prevention program, and also get to hear a success story. Then on December 12th, we'll hear from WebMD and also discuss best practices for communication and how to share information with colleagues. On January 23rd, there is a date change in celebration of MLK. And so just make sure to make that note. And during that session, we'll learn about Moda Health resources. Then on February 13th, we'll learn about Kaiser Wellness grants and funding, and also how to engage colleagues in wellness activities. On March 13th, we'll hear from Kaiser and learn about their resources. And then finally, on April 10th, we'll hear from Moda Health and about their wellness grants and funding opportunities. And just a quick reminder, our meetings are scheduled from 3 to 3:30. And then there's an optional networking time scheduled from 3:30 to 3:45. And as always, we look forward to seeing you here, hearing about the meetings and then connecting with each other.
Thank you, Christy. As I mentioned, that's a brief overview because we're still building out some of the topics. But the purpose of these meetings is to help connect you with the robust list of resources and wellness supports that you have through Oregon Educator Benefits Board. Do a little bit of an overview of the different programs and the activities and the supports that are available, and give you ideas on how you can promote those at your school or your school district or your entity. And then also help you understand what the funding opportunities are from different places. Moda Health has funding for wellness grants. Kaiser Permanente has funding for wellness grants, and so does OEA Choice Trust. And we also want you to learn from each other, because we know all of you have done some fun things or are planning some fun things. And some of you are new to this, and you might want to know, well, what's happening over on that part of the state, or what's happening up north, because you don't get a chance to connect with folks up there. So we're giving everyone an opportunity to sign up if you would like to share a success story. And I'm going to talk about that a little bit more before we end this meeting, and then you'll be getting information in an email from me about those success stories. So next, we're going to hear from Emmy Hershey from Kaiser Permanente and Veronica Coates with Moda Health. They're going to talk about a webinar they have coming up on building a wellness committee. So Stephanie, I think we've got a flyer for that. There we are.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Hi, everyone. My name is Veronica Coates, and I'm a health promotion and wellness consultant with Moda Health. And I'm excited to share about an upcoming webinar called Building a Wellness Committee. That's on November 2nd from 3:15 to 3:45 p.m. Pacific time. And so this webinar is jointly hosted by Kaiser Permanente and Moda Health. So the consultants from both carriers will be presenting. We have Emmy Hirsch from Kaiser Permanente and Christy Straw and myself from Moda Health. And so in this webinar, we're going to share step-by-step instructions, tips, and resources on how to build how to create a wellness committee. And so here is our flyer. It was emailed to the Wellness Champions last week in Teresa's email. So please feel free to share this with your workplace. This webinar is open and available to everyone. regardless of your insurance provider, you can attend this. All staff are welcome. And we know the time and date is not going to work for everyone. So if you're interested and want to hear the recording, please just register for the webinar, and then we will send out the webinar recording, and then all the resources that we refer to, we'll email those out to you as well. So you can register there's a QR code, and then below it, there's also a link you can click to register. And we can also put that link in the chat to make it easy for you if you're wanting to register now. So we hope to see you there. Like I said, please feel free to share this at your workplace. If you have any questions, put them in the chat, and Christy and I and Emmy will answer, or you can also reach out to us via email, and we can also answer any questions that you have. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Veronica. As she mentioned, be sure to post this where folks are going to see it, and invite people who you know are on the wellness committee, or forward this to the person who staffs or organizes wellness committee meetings if it isn't you. So everybody who's involved with a wellness committee or who might be involved can attend. Before we get to the there's a question. Can you please email the information regarding the workshop on 11/2? Carrie asks. Yes, Carrie, that went out with the invitation and the reminder last week. We'll also send it to the people who are in this meeting today, and it'll also be posted at the OEBB website, the wellness section, where the recording of this meeting will be. And there, okay, she's found it. Great. Before we get to our main presenter, Uprise Health, I just want to put a little plug in for flu vaccines. It's flu season, and the CDC is predicting not a very good one for us, meaning it's really important for folks who are going to get the vaccine to get it soon. The schools and school districts can schedule those through the OEBB website, and I'm going to put that link in the chat in a minute. But we also wanted to let you know that those flu clinics don't have to be scheduled during the workday. That might be a challenge for folks to get away from the classroom or get away from their responsibilities. Those flu vaccine clinics can be scheduled in the evening. So if you're thinking about it, I'll put the link in the chat and you can get those scheduled. And with that, I'm going to turn this over to Tanya. Let me get this put into the chat here and sent. So today, Tanya Barch is here from Uprise Health. Uprise is your employee assistance program. There are 3 documents that were attached to this meeting invitation that go with Tanya's presentation. One of them is a flyer for Uprise Health that you can print and post, and Tanya will let you know if supplies of those and other promotional materials are available to order, so you can have those available in your building. Another attachment that went out with the invite was a listing of mental health resources for families and students. And Stephanie's bringing those up there. That's a 2-pager, I think, 2 or 3-pager. And then the other flyer is for Meru Health, which is a free 12-week therapy program delivered through your smartphone for Moda Health members. And that's what that flyer looks like. So next up is Tanya. We've got some slides we're going to pull up for you, Tanya, and you take it away.
Sounds great. Well, thank you for having me. I'm excited to help kick off the school year with the EAP presentation. So we just have a few minutes to really go through and give you a high-level overview of the EAP and how to access those resources to help you promote the EAP a little bit. If you have members who come to you and they have certain behavioral health concerns or they're struggling in certain areas, you can make sure that you have the materials. We can also send you little wallet cards that are really nice, discreet little handouts to hand to staff if they are struggling. So if you think about an EAP, we all face challenges in our life, and sometimes we need some help in resolving those challenges or those issues. That might be a simple phone call to get access to some of the online resources that we have to offer, whether it's our website or within the app. It might be just being able to talk to one of our clinicians over the phone, and that might be all that a person needs. But sometimes we have more complex issues, and a referral to counseling, a referral to work-life services, a referral to peer support might be more appropriate. So know that our staff, including our licensed master's level clinicians, are there to help connect members to the right resources when they need it. It's important to note that all employees are eligible, and that includes household members, dependents, spouses, anyone living in the household, related or not. So just really important to note that if your entity offers the Uprise Health EAP, whether the employee is on the health plan, one of the health plans or not, they have access to EAP services as well as all of their household members. And then I think also super important to note is the EAP is completely confidential. Nobody knows anybody has used the EAP unless they're sharing that with them. So it is a really nice, safe place to start for members. On the next slide, it's a little bit of a busy slide, so I'm certainly not going to read it to you, but I think it provides a really nice visual of the earlier we get the help that we need, the quicker we can resolve that issue before it can escalate into something bigger. And so it just really serves a nice purpose of showing how if I'm, having a workplace issue or I'm having a legal issue, the sooner I get help, the sooner I can resolve that. And I'm not going to move into some of these other levels that, I can, if I'm having a financial issue and I'm not dealing with that, I might be just stuffing that away, and it might cause some depression or some anxiety. I might turn to drugs or alcohol as a way of coping with that. And so again, it's just showing that visual of how things can escalate and become costly and dangerous for the employee and for the workplace. So I'm going to dig into the services that are available as part of the EAP. And the first I'm going to start with is the digital platform. We launched this last year at renewal. And this is really the best and easiest way to explain this is it is app-based, but you can also use the web platform. So some people say, I'm not downloading another app. I don't want another app. For those members who don't want an app, they can actually go to the web platform and utilize the exact same resources. It doesn't limit them in any way. So members can go to the Google Play Store, Apple App Store, or right to our member website. But this app provides intelligent, on-demand skill building courses that kind of personalizes content for each member based on their unique situation. So there's a front-end assessment that the member takes. It's 11 questions, takes about 2 minutes to complete, and it's really looking at their overall well-being and overall stress. And from that, it will offer those personalized programs for that member, whether it's addressing relationships, sleep, financial issues, mindfulness, and so on. In addition to those recommended courses, the member is also, they also have access to a whole library of resources. So if they say, I see these recommended courses, it's recommending 5 different courses, but I'm more interested in one of these financial courses that I see on here, they can certainly do that. There's a whole library of additional skill building courses for them. So the app is really there for anyone and everyone, whether a member is doing well, we want to keep them well, just like our wellness programs want us to do, right? So if we can keep them well by helping them build skills in mindfulness and build skills with resilience, that when something in life does pop up, they're better equipped to manage it. But we also want these tools and resources there for those who might be moderate or even high risk of having a current mental illness or mental health episode, and just giving them those additional resources to help manage that in addition to their EAP resources that they have available to you. And the last thing I want to mention on the digital portion of this is the members also have access to coaching. It's telephonic coaching. So that's completely different than counseling, where counseling is more clinical. The coaching is more behavioral health and helping members, guide them through those skill building courses, helping them answer questions for them, helping them navigate maybe what resources they might want to consider if there's something above and beyond the EAP, or excuse me, above and beyond the digital resources, but within the EAP that we can help connect them. On the next slide, we'll talk a little bit about counseling. Now, counseling is the most utilized benefit of the EAP. People know when I do orientations, I ask people, what is an EAP? And the response I always get is that's where you get free counseling. And so we want to make sure people are aware that they do have access to 6 counseling sessions for each issue that they have per person per year. So if I'm in counseling today, let's say for a relationship issue, I can have up to six sessions for that. If a couple months down the road, I'm having a grieving issue, I can have up to 6 sessions for that. So it does have to be a distinctly different issue, but they can have more than 6 sessions per year. And I think it's important to also note that that year is a calendar year benefit. So every January that starts over. So if I'm in counseling in November for relationship and I finish those 6 sessions in December, I actually start over in January and can get 6 more if needed. Members have access to counseling via face-to-face. So that means they call, we refer them to a local provider, they call and make an appointment and they attend their appointment in person. Or they have virtual options, which could be telephonic, could be video, could even be email or chat. So it's the member's choice when they call in, and depending on what they choose, then we help them navigate that based on that option. And then lastly, there is crisis support available. So 24/7, if somebody is in crisis, they can actually call the EAP after hours. We have a medical answering service that will get some information from that member. They will get in touch with our on-call clinician, and that clinician will call them back and help that member immediately. Sometimes people have an issue and maybe they've never been to counseling or they're not sure about counseling, and we want to make sure that there's a lot of different modalities for them to reach out and access care. And so we also offer online peer support. And so these are we provide 10 90-minute sessions for the member to participate. They log in just like our Teams meeting today. They choose the support group that they're interested in, and then they attend that live. Some members are not too sure about it the first time. They're nervous about it. So they may choose to not share their camera. They might share to just listen, not participate. But really the goal is that we're trying to engage that member, let them know that they are with other peers who are struggling in that same area and that they start participating. The nice thing about the online peer support is they can use this on its own, or they can use it in conjunction with other resources. So if somebody wanted to have some additional support in between their counseling sessions, they can do that. If they're not sure and don't want to start with counseling and want to start here, they can do that. It looks like we have a couple questions, and I don't want to get too far down the road before I answer some of those. You can reach out to me for wallet cards, and I'll put my name, email, and phone number in the chat when I'm done with this. And so you can just reach out and let me know that you need wallet cards, and then you can just email me how many you need and the address. Let's see, benefit year, which is October. This is the exact same benefit as you had last year, so nothing changed within the EAP this year. So just want to make sure that that is very clear there too. And then this is a benefit that is paid for by employers, so by your employer, so all employees actually have access to this EAP. So during the open enrollment, each entity chooses whether or not they want to offer the Uprise Health EAP, and then every employee within that entity has access to the EAP. The EAP also offers a lot of additional resources to the EAP, and that is what we call the work-life services, or some people will, just refer to it as legal services, financial services. And so work-life services are not counseling. They're completely separate from the 6 counseling sessions. They're completely separate from the peer support sessions. These are usually 1 per issue per year. And so how these work with legal resources, I'll talk about legal and financial in a little more in depth, but legal resources, employees have access to a free 30-minute consultation, either telephonically or face-to-face with an attorney. If they decide to retain that attorney, they get a 25% discount in their legal fees. The legal services can be used for any personal issue, but cannot be used for any employer-related issue at all. Even if it's a different employer, sometimes we'll get questions, my spouse doesn't work for this school district, but they work for this company. Can they use the legal services for that? They cannot for any employer-related issue whatsoever. In addition, on our member,
This
oh,
is
yes.
Teresa. I'm sorry to interrupt.
No,
I'm
don't.
monitoring the chat and I see a few questions here and I just want to make sure that folks get their question answered. So would you like me to wait until you're done and then pose the questions?
You know what? I'm fine with either one, whatever you're most comfortable with. If we want to answer them now, that's fine. If we want to wait till the end, I'm fine with that too.
Okay. One person has asked, who do we reach out to for the wallet cards for staff? And I believe that's you.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I will put my name and email and phone number in the chat. And then they can just email me and request those.
Okay. And then there are some, I think there's a few questions about the benefits and that 6-visit limit for a calendar year. One person says, so it's different than the benefit year, which is October 1 to September 30. And it sounds like that is correct. These visits are per calendar year, January through December, correct?
That's correct. Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I know years ago it used to be on a benefit year. So if you've been part of OEB for a long time, that's probably a big difference for you. We moved that to calendar year about a year ago, just to make it a much easier benefit to administer as far as resetting those issues.
Okay, those were the questions. And if the folks who asked them still need clarification, please reach out to me or put that in the chat and I'll make sure that Tanya is able to get to it. Thank you, Tanya. Go ahead, finish your presentation.
Okay, great. Thank you. In addition to the legal resources on our member website, which I do have a couple slides and I'll point to that, you also have access to online legal forms completely free. So you log on to the member website, you can look at all the different legal forms that are out there. They're everything from lease agreements, living wills, trusts, all sorts of things. You don't have to create a user ID or password until you're ready to complete the form. And at that time, then you would create the user ID and password so that everything you're entering is completely private and secure. You also have access to financial resources, which provides 30 consecutive days of working with a financial coach. So I may want to create a budget. I might want to consider some retirement or college planning. And so I can call the EAP and they will connect me with that financial coach to work through that issue that I'm looking at. Child, adult, and elder care resources, we help find resources in the community that you're looking. So for example, with adult care, if let's say I'm living in Oregon and I have a family member living in Florida and I need someone to go into the home and do some cleaning or take them to their doctor appointments, pick up prescriptions for them, I can call the EAP and they'll help me find resources in that community versus me going on Google and looking for those resources on my own. So they'll just send me that list of resources. You also have access to a work-life wellness library called Personal Advantage. I'll show you that in a couple of slides and I'll get into that in a little more, I'll get into that more in depth. But there's so many resources on that site that I can't say enough about it. So I'll point all those different resources out, but really encourage you to go take a look at those so that if a member does come to you with some questions or some challenges they might be facing, you can have a little more information on what's available to them. And then lastly is TESS, which is an artificial intelligence chatbot. It's really meant to provide emotional support. I use the example with the online peer support. Again, you may have a member who maybe they've never been to counseling. They're not sure what to expect. They don't want to admit to anyone that they're struggling. It's a really safe, anonymous place for them to start. And studies have shown if somebody starts typing or writing out their thoughts or their feelings or comments, they're more likely to take that next step because in their mind, they're saying what they're struggling with, and they're more likely to take that next step to maybe reach out for peer support, reach out for counseling. And so that's available as well, either by text, not an app, but by text or on the website, which I'll show you in just a moment. And then on the next slide, this is getting you access right into our member website. So as you can see, it's hard to see, I know, with this being a screenshot, but this is the Oregon Educator Benefit Board member website on our site. you go to upricehealth.com. You can save yourself a click if you put /members. If not, right in the center, top center of the screen, you'll see a members button and you can click on that. You'll put in your access code, which is OEBB, OEBB, and it will bring you to that page. Let's see, my screen just kind of changed on me. Oh, you're just scrolling down. Thank you so much. So on this page, you'll see the phone number on how to access services. You'll see 2 links here. One is access to our member and leadership resources link. There will be tons of content and information out there for you as a health champion. And then the personal advantage, which you see that work-life sign-in, that's the button that you would click to get into the personal advantage website. And then we talk a little bit about the peer support and the artificial intelligence chatbot. If you click on the work-life sign-in, it will take you to this, on the next slide, this screen that's a little bit of well, it's just a bunch of tiles. Each of these tiles expand into a wealth of information. For example, in the Savings Center, it'll take you actually to discounted shopping just for being an EAP member. My stress tools takes you through a really nice resilience program. The legal resources link, you'll see that there. If you click on that, on the left-hand side of the screen, you'll see the legal forms library. So you click on that and it'll open up a new window for all those legal forms you have access to. But in Personal Advantage, there's everything from articles, videos, there's actual trainings that members can take. It prints out a certificate of completion. So if they wanted to do some professional development, they can do that and show that to their leadership to put in their personnel file. There's our monthly webinars are out here, both upcoming, our live webinars, and then our archived webinars. And then on the far right-hand side of the slide, that's the website version of the artificial intelligence chatbot named Tess. But at the very top of the screen, although I know it's hard to see, there's a phone number where you can actually text Tess. And to start that, you just text hi to the phone number listed there, and then she'll engage you from there. So I would also encourage you to try that out. It's not for every issue. It's really meant more for depression, anxiety, that emotional support, and just helping people feel connected. So just want to make sure you're aware of that as well. To access any and all of the resources I talked about today, you can either go to our website, which again is upricehealth.com, or you can go to, or you can call the toll-free number, which is 866-750-1327. And on the next slide, I think I have some of that contact information, so that you can just kind of take it. Oh no, that's my contact information. I'm sorry. So yes, just again, the toll-free number for the EAP, it's on the member flyer, but the number again is 866-750-1327. The access code is OEBB. And then for my contact information, you can see that here on this slide. I guess, do you want me to send you the slide deck, or since I already sent it, do you guys want to just convert that to a PDF and share that with everybody so they have access to this? Would that be best?
Yeah, I'll turn it into a PDF and send it out as an attachment. Thanks.
Okay, wonderful. Great. So you'll have my contact info. If you need any printed materials, again, please just go ahead and send me an email and give me the quantity that you need and where you want them shipped, and I'll get those ordered right away. Any other questions for me?
I don't see any in the chat, but I just wanted to put the plug out for folks that not only, in addition to contacting Tanya, if you have any questions or need supplies, feel free to reach out to me if you have a question or need some information, and I can also explore that and find an answer for you too.
That sounds great. I do see one question here. To clarify, so the benefit year is October through September. That's correct. If OEB did not continue on, let's say next year they decided they were not continuing on with Uprise Health, the benefit would terminate on September 30th. So those sessions would expire at that time. The calendar year, all that's doing is resetting the issue or the reason why people are accessing the EAP so that they can use that issue again. That's the only difference, is the calendar year is just resetting the benefit. It does not give you the benefits even if it's terminated.
Thank you, Tanya. As you can see, Uprise Health has many, many, many resources out there, and Tanya did a real quick and dirty overview of a very robust benefit. So I encourage you to go to the website and explore and poke around some more so that you can really get a sense of what she's talking about. That slide that she pulled up with the tiles, as she said, that each tile opens up a whole wealth of information. So there's a lot there, and it might take you a while to kind of go through it to find out everything that's there. But as a wellness champion, you want to learn as much as you can about the benefits so that you can help your colleagues understand and access them as well. I do see something in the chat here, someone who was joining us a little late. She had reached out for some wallet cards to hand out to folks, but oh, okay, I see. You were just checking in, Cheryl. Okay, I got it. Thanks. Okay. Well, we are at 3:37, and normally our meetings end at 3:30, and or the official meeting ends at 3:30 rather, and we open it up for networking. But since it's the beginning of the school year, you may not have a whole lot to share, but we want to offer you this time anyway until 3:45 to ask a question, pose an issue that you're struggling with or that you want some help with. Let us know what's happening in your neck of the woods and what's going on in your building and your area regarding wellness, or reach out to one of us with a specific ask. I think, Stephanie, you had muted everyone just to make sure we didn't have any background noise, but feel free to, for folks, please put your question or your issue in the chat if you have one. And someone's got to leave. She's off to coaching job. Thanks, Carrie. Okay. Well, one last announcement I wanted to make for those of you who are still on. I had mentioned success stories earlier in the meeting. Tomorrow, everyone on the distribution list, which is over 400 people for the OEBB Wellness Champions, will receive an email from me with more information about how to sign up for sharing your success story. We've got one lined up already from a local community college for November. But I know there are others here who may have activities you've started, programs you've started at your entity, and others will want to know about those. So we have an email that describes the kind of things that we're looking for and a little outline if that would help you organize your material, and a schedule. So you're welcome to sign up for any of those monthly meetings between December and next June to share your success story. Well, thank you so much, everybody. It was great to see you. Great to hear from you. Welcome to the 22-23 school year. And we look forward to seeing you at our next meeting, which is Monday, November 14th at 3 p.m. Bye-bye.